No, we're playing the quiet year. They're not supposed to hear us.
Now that, yeah, all right.
We are accurate to the game, everybody. We care about rules.
I'm
We're
gonna lean
sit
in
here.
on that. Yeah, that was 100% planned. Welcome to the quiet year. So, this is a fun world building moment, and I am a professional streamer. I've been streaming for over 2 years. I know exactly what I'm doing at all times. So, welcome to my study. All right, so before we dive into all this, we're just going to go around the table, introduce ourselves, as we have a lot of pretty much all new faces. I will be a participant in this event. My name is Lucas. My pronouns are he, him. Joel.
Yeah, I'm Joel. I'm the GM of Oddity Roadshow and Critical Bits, and a soon to be space show we announced today. And my pronouns are he, him.
Ava.
Yeah, I am Ava Rogers, pronouns she, her. I'm usually over on the Master of Rim Twitch channel on Monday nights, every other Friday, and every other Wednesday. Part of 3 different games there, and also the Alternia Archives podcast. I am editor and producer for a lot of that.
And Dave.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave, and my pronouns are he, him. I am the GM, host, producer, and composer of the Four Orbs podcast. We're kind of on a hiatus right now, but hey, there's like 100-some episodes to go listen to if you haven't listened to it before.
All right, everyone. So, before we dive into all this, Roll20 saw it within their infinite wisdom to make us ambassadors because we always bring you the best things. Go through our catalog. We've met God. We've destroyed our party multiple times through explosions. We have given you actual office drama in a Call of Cthulhu game. So check it out. We Roll20, amazing place. Don't need to get together with people anymore. Turns out it was all just a waste of time trying to schedule things with people and trying to clean up your house and all that stuff. Get rid of that notion. You don't need any more connection. Go into Roll20. You can meet up with people online. They got dice, they got maps, they got modules. Hell, you buy a campaign, they got everything set up for you. Check out Roll20. Also, our music and sound effects will be coming from Sirenscape. So if you too want to have this weird sort of space ambience while you have your grandparents over for dinner and they keep asking you what that sound is, but you keep telling them, I don't really hear anything, and you want to really make this dream come true, go to Sirenscape, because like I said before, they harvest dreams in the back, and they take all the sound effects from those dreams, put it forward into their soundscapes, and you too can experience those wonderful moments that the people who are stuck in tubes are living. All right, so the quiet year.
That's the most Lucas ad read ever.
Oh, it's just, some of these I really just keep going.
Yeah.
So the quiet year. What is it? I'm glad you asked. Essentially, we are going to be going around the table, drawing some real fun cards that are going to be giving us prompts about what's going on with this. But Lucas, that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's dive into one step further. So, this is a world-building game. We got a deck of cards that is virtually provided to me by Roll20. I don't want to lift any cards up. And it is broken down into seasons. We are around one area specifically, and like what is happening to these people as time progresses. Usually the quiet year takes place around like preparing for something or making it through a difficult ordeal. And so like the prompts, you'll usually have like a negative and a positive prompt on the card, as well as players' turns where they can have a discussion where it gives us a little chance to role play. They're starting a project where you make these civilians get to work, earn their keep, or you can discover something real cool, possibly dangerous, always fun. And you will see as we go in how this whole thing works. A lot of fun. Yeah, and essentially we're doing this because I want to set up something so that I can play Triangle Strategy with a bunch of people. Not Triangle Strategy, that's a different game. Triangle Agency with a bunch of people. Okay. Oh, talking a lot. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this. I'm going to set the scene, give us this whole place that we're going to be messing around with and breaking toys. We look upon a downtown space. I'm talking modern day. We got those mid-tier skyscrapers, not too big to impress anyone and cause problems for planes and stuff going through, but not too small that you're thinking that you're in a town with a population of like 10,000 under. There is a little trashy mall downtown. I'm really emulating this after Winnipeg, where it used to be the bustling heart of this wonderful city, but it has fallen to the wayside. We have restaurants. We have doctor's offices. We have that one store that has a weird name and no one's quite sure what it is, but it's there and it always has been and it always will be even after we're all dead. We have this downtown, bustling, people walking angrily, people looking down at garbage. Why is it still dirty? The wind just barreling through these stupid wind tunnels that humans have created, thinking, fuck nature, it didn't know what it was doing. And then, whoops, suddenly there is a crackling sound, almost like a mixture of thunder and glass shattering. People begin to scream. They're running away from the sides of this quarter-mile square that is being created. People are running in towards the center, some going into shops, some running into the streets, getting hit by cars smashing into one another, fires lighting up, the chaos, the pandemonium as we look to the sky. The sky itself is disappearing, and what is it being replaced with but the void? The lights on the buildings, on signs, on those little lights that are overhead. What do you call them for cars? Fucking traffic lights.
Street lights?
Street lights, too.
Traffic
We got those. I know words. Listen, being a GM is hard. So you have this whole thing set up, right? World is going to shit. And everyone is in panic as they look out at each side of this square. And it goes into this endless void. There's nothing. There's no stars. There's no satellite objects floating around. There's no spaceships that everyone suspected for just a moment. There's nothing. As this chilling wind begins to creep in, everyone realizes that they're stuck downtown. We go a few days in. People have had to adjust. People have died from injuries. Some have died from the chaos that was happening. And everyone's having to survive. But they rally together. That's humans. They know how to survive. They're going to get through this. They're going to figure it out. And the center of this square is a TV station. Nostradamus TV. The light on it still blazing bright, and really the whole area is just illuminated by all the lights of these buildings. Electricity seems to still be working for now. And we begin our story. All right, so now that the scene is set, I will take the turn for the first card, because I'm in control. But no, so just to show how things work. So we are in the springtime of this season. People have to survive while they are trapped within this realm. So dealing the first card, you must deal to at least one player. Everyone? All right, that was unintentional. Let me recall this. I have done this before. I know what I'm doing.
Real good Roll20 ambassador here.
Oh, you just got to drag and drop it. Screw all the screw the prompts that some dev has worked on for days getting that to work. Just drag and drop it from the pile, people. Don't make it complicated. Here we go. So I accidentally drew the card. We got the 2 of spring. There is 2 options on this card that I can choose from. 1, there is a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? Or there's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned? Everything's abandoned. Let's do that large body of water. I think there was a rupture in the water pipes that everybody was like, it should be fine, and someone turned on a faucet and all hell broke loose. And now there is a somewhat strangely created swamp area where thankfully there's not a lot of bugs, but still, nonetheless, a body of water has been created.
Ooh.
So, on a person's turn, they have 3 options. You can have a conversation, bring like the people together, have a little community town meeting. You can start a project, or you can discover something cool. I think that I am going to discover something cool. Is it cool for the people? No. So what the people discover while they're looking around throughout all these buildings is that there is one building. It's let's see. Oh, I got it. It's a Starbucks. Everybody, that's where people went to first. Gotta get my fix. Gotta get my coffees. It's free now. So a lot of people rushed there, and what they discovered was the Starbucks building was actually all covered in skin, and it has a bit of a heartbeat. We call it Skin Bucks now. Did you think this would be normal?
No, I didn't think it would be normal, but I just out the gate, we get Skin Bucks. We're really setting the tone here.
Everyone needed Skin Bucks. Gotta get your venties. I'll put it here. There's Skin Bucks. All right, so I will pass the torch on. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
All right, Joel, you have this card here, the 4 of Spring.
All right, so what important and basic tool does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things?
Well, of course, it's the Skin Bucks.
Well, no, this is so. Here's the thing, actually. So the Skin Bucks, previously Starbucks, now Skin Bucks, was actually next to the local food bank shelter. And so what's bad? Why? That's where the food is getting stored. Obviously, they have the best. They have freezers, fridges, best capability for all that stuff. There's already a lot of stuff there. But the problem is it does seem like some of the skin is trying to get to the food specifically, and not trying to take over the building, just the food to absorb the new. So that's kind of why it's risky to store things there. But and also there's not outside of some small fridges here and there, as far as things that need to, because the power salon, as far as things that need to stay refrigerated or frozen to be kept well, there's not a lot of extra storage stuff. So there is a little food bank right next to the the Skin Bucks. So there you go. Can I type on this, or can only you? I'm gonna use Roll20.
I think you should be able to. If you go to where the little
there we go. Text. Yeah. Text. Yeah.
You can change the font. I've just been using the Goblin font because it just makes sense. All right, so you have the food system set up. This is where people are getting their sweet treats, but the skin is crawling closer. What would you like to do? Would you like to have a discussion? Would you like to start a project or discover something new?
So what kind of project can we start? Just
anything. People could literally start up anything you can think of. Have a slight justification, but that's all you need.
Yeah. I think a project is gonna get started because this. And this is more of an underground one. It's you don't want to talk to people about it, but a lot of people already know about it. But I do think a project in town is people, because they're worried about the Skin Bucks trying to eat all their food, people are starting to rank who they would eat first if it came to it throughout the survivors. So there is kind of a it starts out with 3 people doing it as a bit. Somebody hears about it and they're like, oh, okay, well I gotta get on this. So there just Also it could kind of be used as a list of like who's actually useful in town.
Is it a
But
people poll or a popularity poll?
I see that's the thing. Everyone's doing it a little different because it started just as like a small group of friends being like, "Oh, I'll definitely Craig first," and then for whatever reasons, do they think Craig's going to taste the best? Do they think he has the best meat to eat, or do they not like Craig? We don't really know, but so people have started to kind of do a ranking system for that.
These people aren't going to last to winter. Okay. Draw.
I mean, I'm on the efficiency side of things. How much meat can we get out of the
That's the
person
thing, and
to take one life?
Yeah, and it's not like we got to do this right now, but it's just like, hey, how long is this going to stay here? Why, and people are really, there's a lot of skin on the coffee now, so they're worried.
There's a lot of skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get by with that skin of your teeth.
It is the largest organ.
All right. Fair. Hey, maybe they can start eating the skin bugs.
What were you telling me to do?
All right. So you have two things. One, draw a fun picture for the people poll. And two, how long do we think this ranking would take for, like, essentially, because leadership probably would have caught on, right? So I'm like, all right, who's doctors, who's engineers, like that kind of stuff. Oh man, I'd be the first. They're like, what are you gonna do, computer scientist? Get the hell out of here. How long do we think that would take people to complete? How many weeks?
I'm on the vote of 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's where I was going.
Okay, yeah. There could be some difficult moments. All right. So this is a 2-week project. I'm gonna go ahead.
Is this in America? Because I know how those debates go. So it might be 6 weeks.
Listen, I'm letting you live in a fantasy world. Do you wish for this to be in America?
I mean, it's already terrible, so it could be America.
All right, so we got the people poll. 2 weeks.
I mean, America means we have more handguns.
That's true. Yeah, you have more handguns
to take on the skin bugs.
Which is historically for us turned out great. Yeah.
All right,
no downsides.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go, or unless you want to, Ava, I don't mind.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. The Jack of Spring. You see a good omen, what is it? Or a bad omen, what is it?
That's so vague and not easy to come up with right on the spot. It's like I need to be good at this kind of thing, like I was a DM.
You did that
that's
for
out
years.
Of practice.
Flock of ravens blots out the sky.
You see a small child having some skin bugs. It was good.
Let's say we've had a lot of bad going on, so let's go with a good.
Okay.
And in this night sky, this void sky that happens.
Yeah.
Maybe we're only in the first week.
We're on week 3, actually.
Oh, we're on week 3
because each turn is a week.
Yeah.
I thought we were all 1 week. Okay. Well, in that case, people have started to notice a pattern that we'll say they have track of what day it is.
Right.
But it's probably difficult. We'll say on a Friday. On every Friday around 5 o'clock, because that's when you get off work. You're thinking this could be a good time. Just a small white light kind of passes over the sky. It takes about 5 minutes to do just the whole passover. And it gets a little brighter every week. And they're starting to see that pattern. And it's a welcoming light to the week, obviously, because it's just so empty and voidy out there. So
I like it.
It feels like a good thing more than a bad thing. And maybe it brings some warmth to the area that is potentially kind of chilly typically.
Well, I like that's the warmest part of the day is when this light passes over.
Warmest part of the week for 5 minutes.
Praise be.
All right, and so next I guess I have to draw that somehow. Let's do white. And we'll come over here with some freehand, some white again, and some little whooshes.
There you go.
There we go. Little white light. All right. So next, do we need to roll dice for the project?
So the project. Let's see, it's been going by. I believe it just passes a week each person's turn, right? Or am I?
Oh, okay. I thought
wrong?
I remembered you roll something, but I could be wrong.
We're not adding rules to this. That's not what people do. So the people poll completes. We have a new ranking system on who is the most important and who it'd be all right if something happens. And people are coming to a grim reality of their situation, thanks to the people poll. So Dave, yeah, you can start a project, you can have a conversation, you can
Let's do discover something new again.
Okay.
I'm gonna clinch on to these cycles that people are noticing for my week.
Nice.
So there is a cell phone antenna tower going up from the middle of the TV station. And it's one of those that has like the red lights that go up or down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we'll say there's 4 lights on it. And all day, every day, it's typically starts at the bottom, goes to the top of all 4 lights in a pattern to let aircraft know that there is a tower here, an antenna specifically.
Right.
But at 8 p.m. every night, 8:03 p.m. every night, it changes patterns. And it does it maybe 3 or 4 times, and then it goes back to its normal pattern.
Love it.
And I guess I have to draw something.
Yeah, you draw.
To MS Paint it. Gotta MS Paint it.
Yep. And so, Ava, we will bring your card in.
Yeah.
What the? That is not all the spring cards. Let me just see this.
Roll20 is weird about card decks.
Okay, so I know we had the 2, we had the 4, and we had the Jack. So if we get those again, I will just deal with it. Okay, so we got Queen of Spring. What is the most beautiful thing in this area, or the most hideous?
Would it be too easy to call skin bucks the most hideous thing in the area?
You can come up with something fun and new that's going on with skin bucks. Maybe it's growing some smiles.
Ooh,
Jesus.
yes.
Smiles is worse than upset too, honestly.
No. Okay, so the skin bucks has started forming small little pustules. And when you get close enough, those few that have gotten close enough to look at them, see faces, like the faces of like an infant.
Oh wow!
So they're pretty good size.
We're going there, okay.
Yeah, we're going there, and they weep.
Creates weeping infant faces in pustules. Okay. So skin bucks.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was that the beautiful or hideous thing? I can't.
That's the hideous thing.
It's just like the people poll. It's subjective,
Okay. Okay. So we got some faces on the skin bucks. What would you like to do while you're drawing a little face there on skin bugs? Do you want to have a conversation, start a project, or start something new, or find something new? Sorry.
I can't. That's as good as I'm gonna get. I would. Let's start a project.
Nice.
And I think the skin bucks is getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to make some well, flamethrowers to just burn it down.
Okay. So you wanna make some.
So we gotta figure out how to make flamethrowers first.
Right. Okay. So make some flamethrowers because we want to burn down skin bugs.
Yeah.
How long do we think this is going to take?
Is this like just making a few flamethrowers or enough for the town kind of thing?
I think just a few, just enough to
Just a
burn
few?
down the skin bucks and...
I think you could do some makeshift flamethrowers in a week.
I don't live in the land of weaponry, so I will.
I do live in the land of weaponry, and I don't know how to make a flamethrower, but I know that you can burn things pretty easily. And
That's what I'm
with
saying. If you're
gasoline.
just like, if it's just to do enough, because I mean, like, building's pretty flame. Like, I feel like you could make a few makeshift flamethrowers in like a week's time.
They just wouldn't last very long.
Yeah.
They'd be like single-use flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Single-use flamethrowers. There's a market for that, I'm sure. 1 week.
Just to answer, I believe to answer in the chat, though, how do you determine who gets a flamethrower? Well, we already got the people poll now, don't we?
That's true. We got it. So
I just realized your people poll is plus minus a stick man.
yeah.
So one thing I neglected to mention, because I'm a professional and I like to really keep people on their toes, including myself, there are resources in this game. So I thought the resources we could have, and anybody can object or add something to this. We got like food and water. People got electricity, medicine, and weapons.
Oh, so they do have weapons already.
Not really. There's not a lot, like, downtown you probably have, like, stuff. Because we're in that, the American land, so it's probably like, I don't know, you have guns in stores and stuff, I think. Like, behind counters, I think they're also in bars, right?
There's probably, like,
bar
shotguns and pistols, yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's
wouldn't
gotta
say there's,
be.
like, any,
Do they also
like,
have them in, like,
autos.
offices and stuff?
Probably
I mean,
not
there-
offices.
It kind
Not
of
most.
It kind of depends, but a lot of people just carry guns on their person too.
That's true. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that there's probably weaponry like shotguns and pistols.
Okay.
But if you're talking about like an automatic rifle or some shit,
Well, that's to protect your family.
I mean, if there's a
though.
Walmart in the neighborhood, you got weapons.
Yeah, that's to make sure your family's safe and to
All right.
go unalive some people.
I mean, I hunt with an automatic rifle, so
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. So food and water are currently at an okay status. Electricity is currently at an okay status. Medicine is bad because nobody looked, which should be good. And weapons, very good status. Because it sounds like there's just a lot. I watched Walking Dead. They find guns everywhere. They're like, oh, a flower pot, a pistol. It's like a video game. Okay, cool. All right, so we got single-use flamethrowers going 1 week. So we go to the next, which is me. Hey, the 5 of Spring. There is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something. What and how? Okay, so there is a disquieting legend about this downtown region. So there was always a story that there was this rat that everyone saw, and every like few months this rat was just getting bigger, and everyone started thinking it was kind of funny to take the irresponsible route and keep feeding it. So they kept feeding this rat, and this weird mutant rat was getting bigger. A lot of people didn't really believe in mutant rat. That, they're like, oh, you people are all just full of shit. You're feeding pizza to dogs, like that kind of stuff. Don't feed pizza to dogs. Be responsible. And so they're all just sitting there, like feeding this rat. And so legend has it that this rat kept growing. Somewhere there's a rat that is like the size of like a tiger out there. And no one's sure if it's real or if it's a lie.
I like it.
All right, so
Are we just calling it mutant rat?
well, let's give it a fun name. What is this rat's name?
I love a good
Master
like.
Splinter.
Let's go. I love a good human name for animals. Like I feel like a like a Harold or Charlie or
George.
something. Like George the rat's
George.
great.
George the mutant rat.
Or Louis, like King Louis.
Okay. It's got a little rat face. This is going to take me a while. So what I'm going to do, I'll be drawing this while it's everyone else's turn. So this mutant rat's going around, and nobody's sure if it's real or not, or if everyone's just full of shit. What I'm going to do is I am also going to start a project. People are kind of uneasy about just drinking water out of the giant pool of water. Like, what if it gets all gross? Like, what if some weirdo pees in it? Like, that kind of stuff, right? So they want to create some sort of weird makeshift water filtration system out of a bunch of stuff that they find, like coffee filters and stuff. Now, I think this is a pretty challenging thing for a bunch of randos to do. So I'm saying this is probably going to be like a 3-week task to have clean water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw a TikTok the other day that showed me how to do water filtration.
They don't have
pretty
TikTok,
easily.
Dave. There's no TikTok here right now. There's
But it's
no
present day. I saw, the other day, it could have been something.
Yeah,
like
how
this,
well
like
are you
4
gonna
weeks ago.
remember that?
But there's
3 weeks
also
later.
it's also possible that there's just a liar in the mix who claims he saw the
too.
TikTok and he didn't see anything. You just put some gravel in there, you'll be all right.
Here's
3
the
weeks
thing.
is probably reasonable.
I think that the reason it takes 3 weeks is because the first week everyone listens to the TikTok thing, and then people get really sick, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we gotta actually learn how to do this."
Okay, I like it.
First 2 weeks are failures
These
because of TikTok.
chemicals don't purify water.
Yeah. Just pee in it more. You can drink your own pee, and then if everyone pees in it, then it's just like one big. You can't. It's fine.
I am a big fan of cycles, so we're just cycling through pee and water,
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Oh,
3 weeks. This is gonna take a while, and around this time, single-use flamethrowers have been created. Just throw them out when you're done.
Just in case.
But yeah, so now we have single-use flamethrowers. So next up, Joel, I will draw your card. The 6. Oh my God, what has happened? The 6 of spring.
Are there children in the community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Oh God, I have a terrible idea already. How old are the eldest members of the community? What unique things do they have? Okay, so I'm going with there are children. We got kids. At first, a lot of people really didn't know what to do with the kids, but then, once the skin bucks started to get the little childlike faces. The kids' job is now they're talking and placating and calming down the skin bucks because if you're talking to the faces, they stop trying to eat in the food bank. So right now, they kind of, the kids are there to, just talk and calm down the skin bucks. And I think some of the bigger kids, like the physically larger ones, they're armed with the single-use flamethrowers just in case they gotta like burn a little skin buck's child face.
We're giving children flamethrowers.
Well, because it's a community and they have to work, and just like because this is in America, just like. In Arkansas, why should kids not be able to work dangerous jobs just because of laws? Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to factory fire days. So,
I like it.
Yeah, kids are just talking to skin bucks there.
We are not gonna survive.
Yeah. I like
those who survive are gonna be so troubled.
Yeah.
Be so traumatized.
So what's the conversation one again?
So you can hold a town hall about a very specific thing going on.
Yeah. I think there should. I think there should be a town hall, because since we've armed kids with some flamethrowers, kids are starting to leave their posts and just have little flamethrower fights. And
It's
so we
reasonable. I
kind
did
of.
it when I was a kid.
Yeah. You
I
know,
mean,
if you give a kid a flamethrower, it's more your fault than theirs. It's bound to happen. So.
what is a Roman candle but a small flamethrower?
Exactly.
Exactly what I was
So I
thinking.
think there's like a little town. There's going to be like a little town hall meeting about what to kind of do with, like, if you give all the kids flamethrowers to patrol skin bucks, how do you do that? What should we do? Weirdly enough, no one's really talking about the actual skin bucks being the problem, just the children getting out of line and not doing their duties.
Okay.
They haven't been in the workforce as long, so they don't really, know what the work duties are.
All right. Well, speaking from I've taken a class in psychology, and I just wonder, like, maybe we're encroaching on the Skinbucks' place, and maybe we should just let the kids go have their fun in a parking lot.
Yeah, I vote that we actually do the parking lot in town, since no one's really driving cars. We should designate that the child fight zone, where they can kind of get it all out of their system. And that if you do it outside of that, no. We'll maybe feed you to Louis. What was it, Louis or George? What was his name?
Louis George.
Yeah, Louis George the rat. But I do think we should. I vote, to let the kids get their steam, get it out, burn off some steam. We do turn the parking lot into a child fighting ring. Also, kind of, we're low on entertainment.
I'll be the bookie.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that the skin bucks needs to be gone. We don't want our food to be destroyed by the skin that's crawling into the food bank. So I vote we just go ahead and just burn the whole place down.
But it's just like Skinbucks could have feelings.
But also, they still are making coffee for the town, and I do get a little groggy in the morning without my coffee.
Still likes coffee. I think the town hall just devolves into people screaming at each other about Skinbucks' human rights.
America.
And then a lot of are we encroaching on Skinbucks' culture by having skin? And it starts spiraling. And
The ethics of a child fight club.
yeah, and there is there's an actual concerned parent going, "What the fuck is happening? I'm not letting my kid in."
Yeah, why are we talking more about that's not a good idea?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta give kids after school programs, otherwise they'll get into trouble.
So if you wanna draw the little the fighting ring.
Yeah.
And Dave.
There we go.
All right.
So Dave, 3 of spring.
I mean, I have to carry it on, right?
Oh God!
Because
Oh my god.
Oh, no. You really just solidify this.
I mean, yeah, I gotta carry it on. We're gonna go with the 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight, and something provoked them. Honestly, it's just the boredom provoked them. We're gonna say that maybe there's 30 kids in this whole area.
Good lord.
30, 40. And they range from 8 to 16 years old. The older ones, the teenagers, they're getting real tired of all this. They don't want anything to do with the community. They don't want to be involved in the rules. They want to be teenagers. They want to go do their thing. So they just leave. They just straight up go somewhere. And no one knows where they went. But every once in a while, they pop up and they've got jean jackets on, and they got studs in them. They're makeshift making studs and decoration for their vests.
The kids are cooler than everyone else.
And they're called the Stains.
All right. The kids have formed a biker gang called the Stains. And they took the single-use flamethrowers with them.
And they did take some flamethrowers with them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no one could have foreseen giving the teenagers flamethrowers to watch over the kids trying to talk to the Skinbucks about Pokemon turning into this. This, like, you couldn't have guessed
Here's
this,
the
honestly.
thing, you know, if you talk to someone in 2018, 2017, and be like, you think this would happen? They'd be like, oh no, everyone would really rally together. 2023, we're like, this is all believable.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no shit.
I see it all. So what would you like to do, Dave? Project, a conversation, discover something new?
Let's discover something new again. Let's go with, there is an old, unused, and it hasn't been used for many years. The people of the city, you know, they knew that it was vacant already. But there's an old, unused butcher's building. What do you call those? Butcher's block came to mind, but that's butcher's shop. Thank you.
Yeah.
So there's an old, unused butcher's shop that one day a skeletal cow just animated and walked out into the streets. It caused no harm. It didn't attack anyone. It just started kind of roaming the streets like a moose in your area, Lucas.
A moose will cause problems, but
a moose would cause problems.
This cow is just,
they're just kind of roaming. They just want to walk into the bar, hang out with the patrons, and then can't get out because they're too big, kind of thing.
Right.
So there's a skeletal cow in the area that just walked out of an old butcher shop.
Good luck drawing that.
It's just going to be the butcher shop.
Okay.
Maybe I'll draw a
I was
skeleton.
gonna say,
We'll
maybe
see.
a skull. The skull.
Oh, yeah, like a cow skull. Okay, I could maybe do that.
Skeleton reanimated and is chill. I like it.
But is chill. It's not like a mean cow.
These are all my
skeleton.
notes for when I actually bring players into this area. They have to deal with all of this.
I'm so sorry.
It's good. It's good.
This is gonna be great.
All right, Ava.
Yep.
So there's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What system apart from you or belief or practice helps to unify your community? Like what belief? What practice?
I think there's another community somewhere.
Interesting.
And
I'm grabbing some water real quick. I'll be right back.
it is... Oh, what would it be? Oh, let's pull that in. Okay, so it's... I don't have a name for them. They probably don't really have a name for themselves, but it was like a group of, what's the... hippies. That decided... they basically have an entire apartment block, and they've decided, even before shit happened, that we're going to be self-sufficient. So they've got like greenhouses the entire top floor. They've redone it so that they can plant their own, grow their own food and recycle. They have a water recycling, and they just kind of do their own thing.
They have a fully sufficient commune apart from us.
Yes.
And it's good. Their children don't fight. They're educated.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. There's this fully sufficient, responsible commune near us.
That's why we're not focusing on them. They're boring.
Let's put it... we're kind of getting... let's put the apartment block here-ish.
Okay. Ooh.
Is that too big?
Hey, you're good.
I mean, it's an entire
Things will
apartment
start
building,
getting destroyed soon, so don't worry.
Fair.
Hopefully not the fighting ring.
Well,
I'm hoping that's the first to go.
if that's destroyed, where will the kids go to fight?
Why are you not letting me?
It's all terrible because I could see, because we're just in a fascist state now in America with all the bills we're passing. It's awful. But I really could sadly see this argument. Like, if we tear down the child fighting rings, where are kids going to fight at? You want them to fight at your house, Tom?
Well, they ain't fighting in my front yard.
My
That's
kid
for sure.
needs to fight. He's a scrapper. Look at him.
Look at him. He's over there chewing on wood.
He beat the shit on me the other day. I was so proud.
He's over there chewing on wood. That's pretty good.
Okay. All right, so you have a self-sufficient commune. So would you like to start a project, discover something new, or have a discussion and see how the people are feeling?
I think we need to have a discussion
Okay.
about the stains
Mm.
and getting them back under control.
I'm tired of
They're
those little shits that just came through here. I set up the most beautiful painted vases in front of my area. It's what I spend my time doing even before this. The little shits came by. They peed on them. I can smell it, okay? Yeah, you wash it off, but the shame's there.
I just want to say I don't think it's nice that they're bullying me. They didn't really do anything physical, but I told them that I used to be a bully in school too, and they said some word to me called chuggy that I didn't understand, and it made me feel irrelevant.
I just think we need to get them back under control because they cannot survive by themselves out there. And I'd rather not have dead children on my conscience.
Listen, y'all, we got to let them do what they do. They have
No, we
their
don't.
own personality. Like, we can't hamper the child's spirit. They'll grow out of it. They'll learn how to have proper manners and not bully you. I don't know what a chookie is, but it can't be that bad.
I was actually in the military, and I think a good solution to this would be get the kids hooked on drugs, and then tell them if they don't pay it, listen to us, we won't give them any more drugs.
What if we all dressed in leather jackets and we look just like them, and then they're gonna be like, this is shit, and then they're gonna take over our jobs. Let's embarrass the shit out of them like the proper adults we are.
You talking like a parent swap?
I'm talking like embracing the cringe.
I mean, I always did hate it when my parents tried to be cool when I was that age.
All right, we gotta have a be cool rally then.
A Be Cool rally is now happening.
And
The
it's
leather
like
jackets are getting passed out.
like cool rally. And thankfully there was a leather jacket emporium. And
Yeah.
it was in a warehouse. It's very big. Be cool rally. We're Stainy too. All the children are immediately like, never mind.
Fuck this. I'm gonna go play in the piss pond.
Speaking of which, the water filtration system is complete. We have clean water regardless of what Craig keeps trying to do. Alrighty, we shouldn't have much more of spring. This is hard to get through because we all have too many good ideas. 9 of Hearts Spring. A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or, charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful and dangerous activity. Why did she do this? How does the community respond? I think it's going to be an elaborate scheme. This light keeps passing by, and everyone just goes, it's just so nice and warm. She decides, fuck that. I'm bored as hell. Let's try to talk to this light. And how we're going to do that is with our own set of weird strobe lights. There's no science behind it. She has no idea what she's doing, but she manages to rally all of the theater kids. So, it is currently annoying the hell out of almost everyone, but there is a lot of little strobe lights that are being set up to try to communicate weekly with the strange warm lights that are going overhead.
And you know that one kid that did the lights is trying to rewire that tower attached to the radio station
Or like
to use its lights.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
using electricity from the TV
or
station.
TV station.
Yeah. So they'll put it right
Because it's
near
got that it's
Yeah.
got that wireless tower that's got the lights on it.
And
Why don't we use those lights?
I think because none of them know what the hell they're doing, this is going to take 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So light communication with other light, 3 weeks. Okay, so my go. So we have currently one project going. So I think, you know what? I'll just start another project. So we got some water going. Things are going good. We have a child fight park, as things are, as the way they should be. But I think we're starting to realize that our adult bodies are still not doing well, regardless of being in the void. So we're going to try to set up some sort of medic station, because everyone keeps injuring themselves doing stupid stuff, including the child fight ring. So some responsible people are going to try to set up a little medic shop. And it's normal. It's a very normal thing with normal people. No one's weird. You don't do that. What's the
itself
catch?
is weird.
We'll see.
Well,
There's nobody weird is weird.
Yeah, things can start off normal, and then we'll see.
It's going to have some guy named Normal Matt running it. Okay, so medic station. And I think because medicine's complicated and people keep getting injured and it slows it down, this is also going to be, I think this will be 4 weeks, which will increase our medicine, because they also have to scavenge for medicine then.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was going to say 4 weeks exactly, because of like scavenging and like trying to get people that have hoarded things over this time to like put it in this central hub for everyone.
And try to get the people who are medical professionals to give a shit to do this. Okay, that's my go. So we go to Joel. We got to be done spraying, right?
I don't know how many cards there are. Where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with his arrangement and why? Or what natural predators from the area?
Ooh.
And are you safe? I think that a lot, because since we're more like in the downtown, there's not as many like homes or apartments here. Some people did have like apartments and they kind of stay in that, but for the bulk of people that were like visiting downtown when this happened, they don't have a place to stay. There is a local rec center that they have turned into kind of a shelter thing with lots of like pullouts and little what are the not I don't you see them in all the shows where like they're like, oh, everyone get to this place for like the hurricane or whatever. So they have cots. That's the word I was thinking of. So a lot of like pullouts and cots and stuff like that. And people aren't happy about it because thankfully we have a people poll. There were limited resources on the beddings and stuff like that. So based on your scoring in the people poll, that's like how good of a bed you got. You're excluded from this if you have your own apartment right now. Because you just had that there, no one's doing that. But within the gymnasium, you're like, how good of it? Like, do you get to actually sleep on like a decent cot with some nice pillows, or are you just like on the ground with like one of those like aluminum foil blankets they give to you to hold in heat? That's all. So some people. The people at the bottom of the poll, but let's not care about them. They're not happy about it, but the people at the top, which is the important ones, they're happy about it. So there is a little rec center. That's where everyone's sleeping at.
Okay. And what thing would you like to start?
Let's do. So it's conversation project or discover something new, right?
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to discover something new. And it's that this town has discovered that the self-sufficient commune has started to build a fence around them. And I think that's rude. Like, what's that? What's that about?
There are packs of feral children roaming.
Yeah. And like, so these commies over here,
Yeah.
are trying to build so we don't know too much about it since we're not part of them because we all bleed red, white, and blue, so we would never do socialism. But that's what the discovery is that is that they're building a fence around. It's not finished yet. They just have started.
Okay.
So, wait, I'm sorry. Are they starting a project or is this a discussion?
No,
I
this
missed
is
that part.
it's a discovery.
This is
a discovery.
Okay, discovery.
The hippie
Okay, so it's
communists have
happening.
started making
Yeah.
a fence because they want to be away from us. For
Which
good reason.
what?
I'm just gonna point out here that commune came entirely from another game I was in. We created that as our community.
No, you see, this is how the people rally against it because they're communists. They're making a communist. They
Like,
all have
it's a cyber-
equal ownership over there. What's that? They don't even have a people poll. How do they know?
They're all important. There's got to be someone.
To be fair, that setting was a cyberpunk dystopia, so
Yeah.
The political spectrum currently is the Stains and the commune.
If you don't have the people poll, how do you know who tests the water for piss levels?
So, we are moving on to the next season.
Hopefully, everyone dies.
We move into summer. Weeks upon weeks have passed on by, and something different happens. At first, people thought it was just a rumor, but then they found a body. And then when they were looking through some of the CCTVs that they have set up, they saw the creatures. There are beings that are walking out of the void into this area. And we watch as Craig is going by the water. He's getting ready. He's just chugged a bunch of water, ate a lot of real stinky stuff. He's ready. And this strange creature, it has one really long arm. Its head is like a deflated mass on one side and a cube on the other. It drags these two very large feet, and its spine is almost looped. It makes it to Craig as Craig unzips his fly, and it rams a fist right through his head, smashing through the other side. It drags him down, and then it pulls him back into the void. And now the creatures have begun their very slow hunt. All right. Let's see what's going on in the summer. The 8 of diamonds. Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed? Why do they do this? Or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion. Start a foolish project. I believe this is Dave.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I had a perfect idea for the foolish project.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the foolish project,
Okay, I like it. So
and I'm gonna latch on to the Stains a little bit.
nice.
So the head teenager, head bucko,
Head teen. Yep.
head teen. We're gonna call him Duke Darrington, and he goes by Double D for short.
Well, no wonder he's the fucking head. What a cool.
He found a place for the Stains to hide out. It's not like a notable sign building. It's probably like a maybe 3-story little apartment complex or something. And they're hiding out there. And he starts a project where he's like, maybe the way out isn't to the sides or up. It's down. We got to go down.
Ooh.
So he starts a project with his cool teens, the Stains, and they're down in the boiler room and they start digging. They're just digging in secret, trying to get out. They don't want to be here anymore. They heard about Craig's death, how he's disappeared. They don't want to get caught in that. They want out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the foolish project.
All right.
And it's got to be through concrete.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm thinking, like, 4 weeks.
4 weeks. I like it. Try and dig their way out of this place through the boiler room. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, and I don't know whose place that's gonna land on, but whoever's place it lands on, they can decide what they find at the bottom.
I like it. Okay.
I will draw a square. I don't know. It doesn't have a name, but I'll just call it the stains.
The stains.
Yeah.
And you also get to decide to discover something cool, start another project. We currently have 3 projects in the mix, or do you have a conversation? So the current projects in the mix are light communication with the other light, still has 1 week to go. The medic station still has 2 weeks to go. And now we just started digging in the boiler room to get out for 4 weeks.
Let's see. Let's discover something new again, because I don't want to start another project, because I just did one. There's a speakeasy that was discovered in an old hotel near the butcher shop. So it's a place for people to just go and hang out, kind of forget what's going on. We'll call it the bank.
Nice. But it's
So I
not
gotta
a
draw some
bank. It was a
squares.
speakeasy.
But it's not a bank. It's a speakeasy. And it was an active speakeasy beforehand. But, you know, the secrecy of a speakeasy, people didn't know about it. Because that's how real life works.
Imagine
People
how,
just
like,
don't know how to get into
being-
speakeasies in real life.
Being in a real life world with all these humans, and you're cool enough to know about a secret speakeasy.
Does it have like one of those cool ass like hidden doors?
It's got
Yeah, it's gotta. And it's,
I went
you know, there's
I
a
went to a
vault
place
next
once-
to the door.
That's
But
so
it's
cool. I went
really
to a
just a
place where
crack
they-
in the wall.
Yeah, I went to a place where like there was like a speakeasy in the back of it, and like it was a very obvious like fake bookshelf you had to go through, but it was still the coolest thing ever. Like everyone knew about it. Everyone knew that it was back there. But I was just like, oh my, I gotta walk through this. So,
You show up in this like 1930s suit. I'm ready.
yeah, they're like, you can just come in. We take normal money. We got like credit card machines here. Like we're on the map.
I have gold. Does gold work here?
You
Yeah,
can find us on Google. What's the
I have some
problem?
doubloons.
Okay.
We have Yelp ratings.
Yeah.
So, the speakeasy going. And Dave, you said that was a discovery, right?
Yes.
Okay. Discovered speakeasy. I will draw the next one for Ava. 5 of diamonds.
What projects do we have going?
So, the one that just finished is the light communication, and I will talk on that in a moment. The medic station has 1 week to go, and digging the boiler room still has 3 weeks. Or you can make it end terribly.
Oh.
You could get rid of the
Okay.
stains right here.
Okay, I'm going with the project finishes early.
Okay. Which one?
The stains.
Okay.
Their boiler, they're trying to dig their way out, goes terribly, terribly wrong. Because one day they find it's a lot easier to dig. And so they get like a foot further, and then another, and then a hole just opens up, and one of those arms just snatches and grabs them all.
Ooh.
And then the hole just kind of fills itself in.
Does
no more
I have a
digging.
question. Does Double D Duke Darrington survive to tell the tale?
Well, of course, he wasn't the one in charge of it. He wasn't the one actually doing the digging.
Yeah.
Duke is just telling people how to dig and to put your back in. Duke's more management
Yeah.
style.
All right. I like it. So Double D.
Duke
comes back to-
Darrington 100% would grow. Not in this world. Everyone's going to die, obviously. But in the real world, he would just become a middle manager who's just kind of like, you can't say what you used to anymore. Like,
Yeah.
everything's so PC. You know Duke loves to joke.
Dude, so I do
Just a
understand.
joke,
I do
man.
understand you need this time off because you're real ill. But like, I also know that maybe you got to find the person to replace your shift, and if you can't find anyone, I'll see you on Monday.
That's
Just
not an
a
old
little
Duke.
bit of power.
I'm going to go golfing, and by that I mean I'm going to cheat on my wife again.
And by that I mean I will cry in my car in the Walmart parking lot.
'Cause I won't be. The cheating is emotional. I won't open up to her. I have the capacity, but I choose not to. It's my own little form of manipulation.
All right, so Ava, as we've gone on to this story of Duke, what would you like to do?
I would like, let's discover something new. And that something new is, there's a church on the other side of that lake.
Oh.
And in the before times, it was kind of almost open air. It's less building, more park.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, there's been a questionable group gathering there almost every night. Weird chanting or singing echoes across the lake at night. And they call themselves the Voidbringers.
Love it. Always love a good shady cult.
Right?
So the Voidbringers coming in, and so the light communication finishes with the other light, and it was a foolish project. This was never to end well. What ends up happening is that they accidentally short out the antenna array with this project, but what ends up happening now is that strange pattern that would happen on the antenna. Now it's happening on all their weird strobe lights, and they can't turn it off, and it's not even connected to anything.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right, so I will bring in some summertime fun times. Oh, 9 of diamonds. A project fails, which one and why? Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Oh, yes. So I was excited. Yeah, we got a new scarcity, baby. What is
That's a
it?
real GM right there.
It is food. The skin box has grown angry because all the teens, the Stains, left with their flamethrowers. There was no one to keep the skin box aligned, and it started to grow bored of these conversations, and it wished for the sweet, delicious treats of Pepperidge Farms, and it just decided to consume the food bank. There are still foodstuffs scattered probably in different buildings and all that kind of stuff. Also, the weird necromancy butcher shop probably has something. But the skin box has 100% just consumed the food bank, and it has grown larger.
Joy.
So food is now in a scarcity. Don't worry, water's good.
Everyone's like, I can't believe we didn't see this coming.
Good thing we got that people poll.
Oh, no. So very excited. I will just enlarge skin bucks for everyone. So skin bucks has consumed the food bank. I think I'm going to start a project that, you know what happens? The most reliable people who stay at the TV station. Because it turns out that the executives in there had just like some really awesome suites in there, and they lie and they say it's just boardrooms, but they've been all sleeping there. So they decide we're going to come up with a crack team. We're going to get all these cool people. We're going to grab the guns, and we are going to tell the Skin Bucks who's actually in charge. So we're coming up with a crack team of people. We're going to get in there. We're gonna just wreck this Skin Bucks. Where? From the inside, because it's weaker inside of it. So we're sending our crack team in there. What could go wrong?
That's a project?
Indeed.
This is a project.
Okay.
So I think because it's a rash action that will not end well. I mean, it could end well. We'll see. I think it's only going to be 2 weeks. Because they'll do a week of like scoping it out. Is this cool? And then they just charge on in, and they probably carry a flag. I don't know.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I guess, is reasonable. Yeah, they'll prep and then they'll go in on it.
Raid the Skin Bucks, and at this time, also the medic station finishes. So just in time for everyone to start starving, we have medicine. So good news.
Yay!
Which brings our medicine from a scarcity up to a good situation. All right, so we go from me to Joel. I'm gonna draw a little guy. So Joel,
I like how we wound up going in a circle on the Zoom on my end.
that's how it's got to be. All right, Joel.
So someone new arrives who, and why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community who, and what are they looking for? So somebody new. So it's not just one person. It is like a group of a few people that arrive. But what happens is, because no one's really seen anything come in or out of the void except for the monsters, which people weirdly aren't talking that much about. But the reason why these new people are distressed, the Skin Bucks, as it's grown and the faces have become more predominant on it, they're distressed because they get there and they don't know why, but they have the same faces as the Skin Bucks on the sides, and so they're very upset. They said that the last thing they remembered was the incident that happened where this happened in the town, and then they found themselves like running, and then they ran, and now they came out of this void like we're like a whole season into it. So they don't, to them this just happened. And once again, all of the, like, not all, but most of the faces on the Skin Bucks, like at least for this group, they all have a face in the Skin Bucks, so they're very distressed because they don't know why. Yeah,
That's
100%.
terrifying.
I am just stealing. The Skin Bucks was made for me. That is what this is for sure from.
Love it. Okay, so you get a project or conversation or discover something new.
Yeah, I want to do a conversation, but instead of the whole town, I do want it to be the children in the fighting ring, because because here's the thing: when you give someone purpose and take it away, it changes their perspective a lot. So now that the kids no longer are supposed to be patrolling the Skin Bucks, they kind of became friends with the Skin Bucks, honestly, even if it did eat the food. So I think the kids are trying to have a conversation of how to stop the raiders or the raid to go inside and kill the Skin Bucks, because they have to protect it. And they're trying to figure out, because they've all gotten real beefed up from all the child fighting they've been doing, and so I think the kids are trying to have like a little child, forum.
So are these like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures kids, like the one Jotaro where he was supposed to be like 14 years old and he was like 6'5" and just
Yeah. That there is for sure some overly like it's like a CW show where it's like, oh, this is a child. It's like, that's a 28-year-old man actually.
yeah.
Yeah. So one of the kids, he's 12-year-old. He's starting up the conversation. He's like, "Listen, everybody, we gotta defend the skin bucks."
God damn it.
In my 12 years, I've never had a better friend than that multi-faced building.
You know, before all this, it was just Fortnite. Every night, running into the fields, building things, destroying each other. And finally, we found unity. Unity under friendship. We need to defend the skin bucks.
Does anyone else want to talk about how they like the
floors? We're also
or thinks this is a bad idea? You know, we're here about. I want to listen.
Very open to listening to everyone. Everyone has a voice here.
All I'm saying. All I'm saying, look,
in the crowd.
They did take my SpaghettiOs from the food bank.
God damn it.
Skinbucks did do that. God, I miss those SpaghettiOs so much. But you can't help but feel for the Skinbucks, you know? We've had these conversations. We've grown close. We put down our flamethrowers and started fighting each other. But now we know we must fight with the Skinbucks.
Do we have to fight at all, though? I mean, if we just show them that it's a friend, then, like, they could become friends with it, too.
Remember how we became friends by fighting in this fighting ring? That's the only way you can really know if someone's truly your friend.
Comrades.
You punch him in the face.
Has anyone even tried to ask the Skinbucks for food? I didn't think so. It all starts with a simple conversation.
I feel so bad that Ava keeps playing the one voice of reason. Everyone's like,
There's got to be at least one dissenting voice.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least one.
Okay, so it seems like the kids are very much on board for defending the Skinbucks. All right. Those poor children. All right, so Dave, we are going to give you. This will be our last summer card, just because I'm dealing with the concept of time. The Ace of Summer. Oh, it's loading up. Why is it being? Can you read it?
I can.
I cannot.
A contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? A contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged? And why did they damage it? Is it permanent?
I'm
gonna hit my bank. Someone from the commune got a hold of a flamethrower, and their frustrations are just straight up like, oh my god, we made this commune and everyone was supposed to come here under good will and nature and everything, but now people are just like socializing in the bank. I can't have that. I have to have the people want to be in the commune. So they got hold of one of these flamethrowers and they just burnt that speakeasy from the inside out. And it may have taken a few people here or there. We're not sure. They haven't investigated further into it enough. But the bank has been destroyed permanently.
My God, the people from the commune have gone too far.
Investigated.
It's the true
mean the
DM
lynch-
nature.
Mob hasn't been formed yet.
It's the true DM nature. You create and then you take it away.
I will be right back. Keep going on your conversation. I will return. You get to choose an action.
All right. I'm going to start a project, which means I need him for that part, for his note taking on his side, because we don't have the project counters. Yeah. I'm going to say that also someone from the commune. So we've got the TV station execs planning a raid on the Skinbucks. We got the children looking to defend the Skinbucks. The commune has decided the best way to get rid of the Skinbucks is to lure Louis George over towards it so that maybe Louis George and his radioactive mutant self could eat through the skin of the skin bucks.
I feel like this is so it's gonna be like you have like the mob from the TV station, the kids going to defend, and then Louis George comes in all at once. Because I feel like that's just
it's the Anchorman scene where they all fight each other.
Yeah.
They all show up at one time.
That's still one of the best gags ever of just keeps adding more and more. I like, yeah. That's those poor who could have seen this going poorly for anybody, you know?
I mean, it started with skin bucks, so
I heard it all from the TV in the other room. I like it.
All right. So yeah, I think Project Counter 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. It can't be hard to find something to lure the rat over to it.
We are currently dealing with the raid on the Skinbucks will happen this week.
I am going to go ahead and say I would say
Think the children delay the raid?
I would say I don't think it would take as long since I think since you're just trying to get him over there, but you're not trying to control what he's doing. Because I like the idea, because if the raid's supposed to be happening like this week and the kids are coming, you're just like, come on, Lou. Just like, you just need, it's not like a super in-depth plan. And I just like the idea that all of this goes down at once.
Okay. Sure, that makes sense. Let's go for a week then.
So here's what happens with this raid. They got their crack team, right? They got guns. They got single-use flamethrowers. They have knives, because I don't know, maybe they need one. Probably some guy found a stainless steel katana that'll break on the first swing. And they have a large American flag just to prove how powerful their country is. And they put a spike on it or some shit so they could also be a weapon.
You sure you're not from America? 'Cause this sounds...
I've watched a lot of TV. I'm going on a limb here. And so they're all ready, right? They're all going oh, fuck yeah. They're high-fiving, sometimes kissing.
January 6th
they're just they're ready. And then the kids ambush them. They're like, what are you doing, kids? And the kids are shooting slingshots. They're throwing rocks. They're throwing bits of what they found of Crag. They're just throwing everything, really taking on these adults. The adults don't know what to do because they've never been confronted on an equal footing, especially when they have guns. So they're just flabbergasted, and they're if anything, they're almost on the retreat. So they're fighting in front of this food bank. Well, the food bank is rippling, and it's growing as it's feeding on this energy. The faces pressing out, no longer faces of infants, but these faces of these older people as they're reaching out, almost screaming in a chorus of ecstasy. When something happens, we see a cup of water. It shakes. The ripple goes through it. It goes through it again. Some person looks up from their book that they were reading. It's a book on how to save $1 every day and have $30K at the end of the year. As they're looking around what? And they hear this sound. And they're what the fuck is that? So they throw their book and they're running inside. People turn around. The adults with all their guns, not doing anything except for maybe shooting one of their fellows. And all the kids just throwing items. All of them stop. The faces go silent. Ripping out of the sewer, a piece of a communer dangling from its face as it spits it out to the side. A sacrifice that was worth it. They had their own people pull. They knew what they were doing. This creature rises out of the sewer. It is what the hell did I name it?
Louis George.
Louis George, the mutant rat. This thing's bigger than a tiger. This thing is gigantic. It's like a truck. It's just like ripping up, and it just runs forward. Everyone gets the hell out of the way. What are we gonna do? Some people are like, should I shoot it? But they're cowards. And then this rat just launches itself forward, ripping apart at pieces of the skin bucks, devouring it greedily. Because let's remember back to the legend of Louis George. Everyone kept feeding the rat, but what happens when they stopped? The rat had to eat, and there were a lot of corpses. The rat got hungry and got a little taste. And so now the rat is just ripping apart the skin bucks. The screams of 1,000 faces just fill the air as everyone will have trauma forever from this one.
Just from this?
Everything else they're fine with, honestly. It wasn't that big of a change. They still have to work all day. They get no money. There's a lot of guns. I think a result of this is, yes, the skin bucks has met its mortal foe, but Louis George is growing larger from eating the contents of skin bugs.
Oh, God.
And we may have to start worshiping the rat.
Oh, God. Okay. I love this. I got an idea for when it's my turn next.
All right. So that was Dave's go. Ava,
Yes.
I'm going to bring us into autumn. So what happened? Everyone ignored the void beings who have been picking off people here and there, but it's been people really low on the people.
That's what I was about to say. We all felt like they had access to the people list because, like, no one from the top half is going, so we're not, like, too concerned.
But this cold weather rolls in, and something that ends up happening is that now the electricity is only working during certain parts of the day. So you'll have like 3 or 4 hours in the morning, maybe 2 hours in the afternoon, a couple hours in the evening where electricity is working. But there are times where it is a complete blackout and people are having to start to figure out, how the hell do we see in this? Lighting fires, getting candles, creating torches, all that kind of stuff. And the void is still just as dark, and every so often the light flashes over and the strobe lights flash to communicate. And so now autumn's chill has begun to set in, and the card we are dealing with is the strongest among you dies. What caused the death? Or the weakest among you dies. Who's to blame?
Ooh.
Well, we all know the strongest.
Who's that?
That's Double D, Duke Darrington. Leader of the very adult teens.
I want to say the strongest among us dies, and I think he was in the raid. He's the one that accidentally got shot.
Oh, the one responsible
by
really
friendly
good person?
fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna go lame, and he died of an infection.
I like it. Okay. So we realize that we don't really have the medicine to deal with serious infections. Just real basic stuff, or like tuberculosis. That's like
He thought it was going to be the skin bucks of the giant rat. No, it's tuberculosis. It'll get you every time.
You didn't know. All right, so we lost like our strongest fighter in this this friendly fire, as I have to write up a small little paragraph on that whole event. But what would you like to do? Would you like to discover something new, have a conversation, start a project? There is currently limited electricity, so electricity has now moved into a scarcity. There is still a scarcity on food. People are probably getting a little cagey on that.
Okay, I want to start a project, and that project is going to be a garden, so that we can start producing our own food.
Once again, the voice of reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long would that be? 3 weeks? probably.
Okay, I like that. Have a garden, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and move Louis over here.
Just put him on top of the skin
I
box.
just-
He's feasting.
I just saw your little American flag stick figure, and that's great.
Thank you. I'm doing what I can. Whoa, that! Oh no, what have I done? I'm sorry, Louis. I cannot move him. That is where he is.
Well, he's eating on it. You can
Yeah.
tell he's chewing on the
He's
building.
having a chew. He's got food for quite a while. Okay, so next up in autumn, here we go. The Queen of Autumn. Oh shit! Disease spreads throughout the community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining. Come on.
How could that have happened?
And treating the disease. Project dice are not reduced this week, or nobody knows what to do about it. And add health and fertility as scarcity. Listen, I've had to deal with this for 3 years, as we all have. I'm gonna live a little bit of a fantasy, a tiny one, and you know what it is? It's the fact that Duke Darrington gets sick. And everyone was like, oh, it's just all the weenies getting sick. What's it matter? It's just the common cold. Even though you may be bleeding from new openings on your forehead and you start chanting strange things, like the Voidbringers. But it's just a cold. But then it happens to Duke Darrington and said, if it can happen to him, what if it happens to me? Oh, shit. Now that can happen to me? This is actually an issue, everyone. We have to take this seriously. And so I think people quarantine. Let's see. Where do they go? I think it's just like a big lockdown at the rec center. And a lot of people are pretty pissed. But, they start to eat some of the beds and, like, things are okay. So project does not go down this week at all. I think I'm also going to start a project, and it's going to be the Lamplighters Guild. They're going to go around trying to keep lights on and trying to make sure that we have lights, candles, torches, that kind of stuff going whenever the lights go out, because these creatures keep showing up. And I think that's going to take 2 weeks to have like kind of a bit of a system set up. How's everyone set up?
2 weeks seems reasonable. I would have even gone with 1, but 2 seems reasonable. I feel like everyone would want the Lamplighters Guild success, so everyone would chip in.
Everyone's in, yeah. I think right now everyone's sick too, so it's probably a little bit slower.
That's true. It is quarantine, so
yeah, they actually listen this time.
Someone came up with this idea during quarantine. Maybe
It's
we
a
should
lot.
have, like,
I think one of the things that makes the quarantine a lot easier is all the people that would have protested the quarantine have already died. And so
yeah, they went down. They went first. The voice of reason went first in this town for sure.
So
Sorry, Ava, you would die in this town, is what we're saying.
No, I know. I'd be at the bottom of the list because we don't like what she says. She's speaking too much sense.
Yeah, she keeps saying this fucking dumb word called science, and I'm just like, what?
let's take a little break here. Where do you see yourself in this community? You, yourself.
Oh, weirdly enough, cult leader. I'm leaning into it. I'm very charismatic. Society and my love of other people have stopped me from leaning at the side of my brain. But at this point, I'm just like, oh, we're all gonna die. Like,
I think I'd keep myself real busy with projects. I just wouldn't talk to all these weird people. I'd be like, listen, if I'm busy and people are just like, oh, that's Lucas, he's just over there fixing something, or like they'll always think I'm important for some reason, and they're just gonna
you're in like the 60 to 70% of the top list. Not top enough to where it's like if there's a mutiny, you'd get killed.
Yeah,
but still, like, you're pretty essential.
Yeah, they're like, he has to know something. He's always there doing something, so like he's doing something.
I died in the boiler room.
you try getting out.
That would depend on whether or not I have my meds, where I would be on the list.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Either way, I think I'm pretty fucked, though.
Okay, so yeah, we have that going on. The Lamplighters Guild is beginning. We got a little garden going. People are sick, and we go to Joel. So Joel, you got the 5 of Autumn.
The parish arrives. Who are they? Why have they chosen your community for what? A small game of marauders is making its way through the local terrain. How many are there, and what weapons do they carry?
And we're going Mad Max now.
This is hard. Both are very good.
Because we do have the Voidbringers established. Like, they could...
Yeah.
You know, the Voidbringers are there. Yeah, I think what's happening is with the quarantine that went on, the Voidbringers kind of saw this as an opportunity to kind of use some of their power, or sorry, usurp some power right now. So I do think it's the Voidbringers. The weapons they do have actually, it's one of the scariest ones of all. It's just overwhelming charisma and charm, where they are just kind of going around town. The few people that are like coming out of quarantine, they're giving little whispers. They're trying to plant things. They're just trying to plant seeds of doubt throughout the town and turn everyone against them, and then try to convince people that like they're the ones that can really like save everybody. So that's kind of what I think is happening.
I like it.
Yeah. And I am going to have a new discovery. So real quick, refresh me on the frequency of the light above and like the dots and the strobe lights.
Okay, so what we have with the light is it's showing up once a week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It is showing up at 8:03 was the light. So the happy light is showing up 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yep. On a Friday.
Yeah, on Friday, and it's very warm, very nice, makes people feel good. And then the strobe lights are going off at 8:03 p.m. each night, and they're not connected to electricity, and they just keep happening. Nobody knows what's going on.
So here's the new discovery. Once again, we're in quarantine, so a lot of people are in their houses, and they're a lot more aware of what they're doing in the community. What the discovery is, everyone in town for the 5 minutes every night evening that the strobe lights are going off, not necessarily the light, but the strobe lights every day. Nobody remembers that time or what they do, and now what they're starting to see is, because since they're in their own homes and it's harder to hide, they're starting to see that there's symbols and altars going up to Louis George. And they weren't there before, and they're starting to discover them within these 5 minute spans, and nobody in town has any recollection of why, how, or what. They just completely blank out from like, did you say, what is it, 5:08 to...
Yeah, like 8:03.
Oh, 8:03
goes for a couple minutes.
Yeah, so like from like 8:03 to like 8:08, like that 5 minute span, like there's nothing. Nobody understands what's happening. But yeah, that's it.
I like it. So the altars are going up to worship and placate the rat. Skinbucks has mostly been consumed. And everyone is starting to get real freaked out because these creatures are hunting people more. So Dave, we are going to bring you the 8 of Autumn. Whoops.
Ooh, someone sabotages a project. The project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond?
So you currently have 2 projects in the go. You have the Lamplighters Guild and the Garden. Both very essential for these people to survive.
Yeah, I think I got the perfect one.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say they succeed. No, they fail. It's too. There's no way they could succeed. Someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community, and that is the Voidbringers are trying to stop the Lamplighter Guild.
That
The
makes
Voidbringers
sense.
embrace the void. They embrace the shadow. They don't want extra light. They can't stop that light that comes across every week. And they can't stop the strobes. But what they can do, stop the people from having lamps.
Mm-hmm.
But they fail. they get caught, and they sort of feel not ashamed, but like they showed their hand too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of retreat back to their church, and we'll say they don't really show their face for like a week or two.
Okay.
They don't really get punished because they didn't really succeed. Like all they tried to do was confiscate any kind of light source and take it back to the church.
If this was my go, I would have lit the Voidbringers on fire and began worshiping the light. Okay, so Voidbringers tried stopping the Lamplighters, shamed back to church. Oh,
I
and like the
lynched
and like
one of them.
and the community also like doesn't trust them anymore. Like that they showed their hand too soon.
Lost community trust. Okay. All right. So, Dave, would you like to start any projects, discover something new, have a conversation?
We're gonna start projects.
Okay.
The TV execs. They're starting to worry about the killings, the creatures coming and taking.
At last.
Like
Autumn.
it's yeah, at last autumn, finally someone says like, "Hey, we really need to focus on that. Like, sure, we need a garden. Sure, we got the commune people taking care of themselves, but we can't really work with them anymore. You know, we got all these things happening, but y'all lost focus. We got to survive against the hostile creatures."
Yeah.
So the TV station execs, working with not the Voidbringers and not the commune, obviously, start a project to basically turn the TV station into a fortified garrison.
Oh, I like it.
It's becoming the central hub, the castle, so to speak. And it's going to take some effort. So I'm going to say it takes all 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's going to take them max 6 weeks. Because, you got to get stone, you got to build walls, you got to collect the guns, you got to probably keep Luigi into the on your side because you want to probably use him in some fashion.
So we're dipping a little into this, so I think we're gonna go into a bit of a quicker pace as we're gonna try to get through autumn and winter. So I don't want to keep you all too long, and I do get tired. As I'm human. Okay, so we have the TV execs. They're focusing on creating a TV garrison. 6 weeks. Of course, they are the first ones to be protected. They are the most important. The garden still has 1 week to go. And so, Ava, you got the 6th of Autumn.
I think I'm gonna conflict flares up among community members, and as a result, a project fails. And I think that project is the garrison, because nobody can agree on how it should be done or who should be in charge, because they all think they should be in charge, but they all have differing ideas. And so it just
Who could have seen this coming?
stalls.
So they probably got a bunch of supplies around the TV station, and now they're just sitting there. It's a bunch of lumber and stuff.
Some barbed wire.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to draw my square.
Okay, now new discovery. I think I am going to start another project, and we're going to see about getting generators rigged up so that we have consistent power.
Okay.
Because it's going to start getting really fucking cold soon.
Yep. How long do you think that would take to get generators going?
2 weeks, maybe? Maybe 3.
I imagine some places would probably have generators already, and so it would just be like a matter of retrofitting them to important buildings. So I could see 2 weeks.
That sounds good. Yeah.
All right, I'm bringing in winter. The electricity wanes even more. Now we only have actual electricity for maybe an hour here and there. It's very sporadic when it does arrive. The light always arrives on time. The strobe lights always go off, and people always forget what they're doing, and more shrines to the Rat King are established. People are frightened. So many people have disappeared already. The effects of hunger have thankfully been figured out as the garden, a lot of microgreens, just like things grow really weirdly fast here. So like they got some food again. The people pole still is an option here. The Voidbringers are now on the people pole. All this is moving forward, but now the creatures have become far more active. They are entering in, and when people are looking at, like, every so often when like maybe people are describing them, or they do get captured on camera and like quickly checked, people are describing these creatures, they're all very different. They're all twisted and strange, different colors, different shapes, some of them translucent, some of them phosphorescent. Like, it is all very strange, bizarre beings, but never does it seem like just a normal person. The Voidbringers are praising the darkness while the Lamplighters continue to fight it back. We enter into winter. Oh god, I thought I drew the King of Winter. Because that ends the game. The Two of Winter, a headstrong community member takes charge of community's work efforts. A project fails and a different project finishes early. Well, there's only one. Or a headstrong community member tries to take control of the community. How are they prevented from doing this? Due to conflict, the project is not reduced. Okay, hear me out. What? All right, I'm going to pitch something. All right? So we have a church, the Voidbringers. People love conflicting religions. It's kind of our thing, if you look throughout human history. I think people start worshiping this light that the Lamplighters are bringing. And the leader of the Lamplight is Duke Darrington, the Double D, who decided that it was a cushy position and they can command a lot of people. And
Wait,
This motherfucker's failing up.
I thought he died. Did I miss
No, he
something?
got
No,
sick.
no.
He was the one who
He
got
got
sick,
sick.
and everyone, if it could happen to him, it could happen to me.
I thought he died of infection. Okay.
So he decides I'm gonna capitalize on this fast, and decides, like, we should worship this light, and we should worship the light that goes across the sky and the strobe lights. The strobe lights have helped us placate the Rat King, and like look at what greatness that the light has always brought us. The light grows our crops, and so the people have started to worship this light, this shining light, and as a result, he's like, we don't need the false light of generators because he has nothing to work with. He's like, we need to establish bonfires. Good old-fashioned keep the bad spirits at bay. Let's burn some of these old shitty buildings, and I'm sure there's zero ramification because I'm like 17 years old and I don't really know anything. So I think the generator project fails, but the bonfire project is a great success because it's easy to burn a building.
God damn it. Fucking Duke Darrington.
Duke starts cult, lights buildings on fire for good.
My God.
My counselor always told me I was going to be good in leadership.
So you're a real firecracker, and I thought this was what he's talking about. All right, so starting up some fires, good times going on with the Duke.
Jesus.
I think for a discovery. I got it. Okay, so a discovery is that the Voidbringers, they've gone through some shame. They did their shaming ritual, which is standing in well-lit areas and crying. because they have to just like stand in the light, and they're not fans of it. So they went through their shaming ritual. The Voidbringer Church was lit up for like a week, and there was a lot of weeping. And so they put out the lights, and a discovery is that after they put out all the lights in the Voidbringer Church, the church disappeared, but the Voidbringers still keep showing up. So when the lights went out, the church disappeared. But they're still wandering around, those weeping fucks. Okay. And we'll move it to Joel. So draw you a winter card.
Oh,
Game's over.
Oh,
Well, shit. So Joel, tell me how things
very short winter.
Tell me how things go terribly wrong for these individuals who are not prepped for this at all.
well, here's the thing. The last thing that just happened was Duke Darrington did start the Bonfire Project, which was a roaring success.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the building, like all the buildings have like taken so much damage over the time. It's like there's not been anyone to fix them. There's no maintenance. Everything's really dry because of the winter time. There's not been like so like the fire just spreads throughout. Like most of the town
Oh no.
just burns the fuck down, and like resources are wiped out, like all that, like I think the one of the only things that really isn't like fuck too bad probably is like the pond and stuff, because of the nature of water not being super flammable.
I like to think that the self-sufficient commune had a fire preventative measure, and like
Well, they also
yeah.
have that
These
distance
fucks.
with the gate.
yeah.
They've got the fence that puts
Yeah,
distance
yeah.
between
I
them
think-
and the.
I think the commune is, if anyone's going to be still alive and not completely burned down, the commune still has some people in there. But like the core of downtown, like it just gets wiped. Who knew this could happen?
Luigi
that
retreated
fire
back to
I
the
did
sewers.
have an idea for Luigi to eventually move on to the commune and just like hollow it out for a nest.
I do
Yeah.
think Luigi does. He goes back down the sewers. He's safe.
Yeah.
Our boy's good to go.
I like to think that the cult that worships the light thinks that this was a win.
Oh, they walk into it. They're like, yeah, baby. And they walk in and they're like, I like the way this feels.
And maybe even some of them just continue to burn. They just walk around these burning people. Duke Darrington
Double
totally
D
went
is
to the
definitely
sewers,
one of them.
ran away with like a box of food, some
Yeah.
supplies.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Duke Darrington needs
Alright.
to live, so he's in your game.
Yeah, it'll be there.
So you got the Void Weepers that are still there,
Void Weepers,
Crying.
standing there and weeping because they
Yeah.
were protected by the water.
100%.
The water surrounding them,
The burning
now you've got-
worshipers.
and now you got the burning light people.
Yeah.
They're just walking around, always on fire, eternal flame.
Yeah.
A ginormous rat.
A ginormous rat in the sewers. Oh yeah, you got a walking cow, skeleton cow.
D, skeleton
Skeletal
cow.
cow.
Skeletal cow. Probably still some rampant teens.
I love that we
course.
kind of forgot about the skeletal cow.
Yeah.
It's just been there.
I feel like
It's
people
just
calm.
people accepted the cow faster than they accepted things like medicine. They're like,
Well, I
'cause they
mean, we
didn't have to
started
do
with
anything
skin
for
bugs.
the cow. The cow just showed up. You have to actually put effort into medicine.
I can't wait to bring a group of people into this, and like they're gonna encounter like every fucking weird thing, and they're gonna show up at the commune, and they're all gonna be really normal people, and they're like, everyone was nuts. Like we tried to talk with them, we offered them medicine, we helped them take down skin bugs, and they're like, what the fuck, skin bugs? It was a whole thing. And
I
they're like-
need to know how this goes.
So, fun announcement. So, like, we have, I guess there's a couple announcements, as we're kind of wrapping this whole thing up. So our next project that we're going to be doing, next week we are going to be doing our Q&A and our, like, end of game for, like, our epilogue for, Rise from the Athletep, our stream that went for a little over 2 years, wrapping up those character stories and answering a bunch of questions. We've already had, like, 20 questions fired our way, so if you want to fire some questions at us, I will throw the Google Docs link in there. It allows you to submit some questions there. And it can be anonymously too, so like don't worry about like, oh, am I going to embarrass myself with this weird question? And if it's like an uncomfortable question, I probably won't say it. So like just don't bother sending that in to me. But our announcements are we are going to be running our next game will be a Lancer game. Ian from Rise of Nyarlathotep is going to be the GM for that. It is going to be rad as hell. I'm going to be a player. Oh, I'm excited. I've made a very, very lovely, humble mall cop who pilots a mech, and he has an actual, like, just a very supportive family and a good backstory. Like, there's no tragedy whatsoever. He's a good guy. Looking forward to that. So we are going to be playing Lancer. Our plan is from here on, we're going to be trying to have games be anywhere between like 8 to 12 sessions. And that will be our campaigns from here on, because a very long campaign is difficult to stream. And after that, we are going to be running a Triangle Agency game. So, Triangle Agency is actually going to be having a Kickstarter real soon in June. So, Joel just posted a link for it. So go ahead, follow that Kickstarter. The whole concept, like if you've played games like Control, that was like, that person going into that cool weird house, finding the gun that could talk to them, show them visions, and just like shooting things. Or if you like things like Archive 81, Welcome to Night Vale, all that kind of like weird stuff going on, people investigating it, all that good stuff, definitely check it out. It is super rad. They also have an early access version on itch.io that has like 90 pages of goodness that you can pour through. But we are going to be running a game for this, and I'm very excited. So we'll be doing some casting calls for that in the near future. So look forward to that, and please follow that Kickstarter there. Keep your eye on it. It will be here early June. All right, let's go around this table. Anyone else have anything else they want to recommend? Anything they're in? Anything they want to plug?
I will do it first. Speaking of Triangle Agency, and literally today, I'll drop this link right here. Co-creator of Caleb and his husband made it, but co-creator Caleb actually came to right here in my home studio. We recorded a demo episode of Triangle Agency that I GM'd. It's a super fun game. It's really inventive. It uses like a D4 pool, which is really fun. You don't get to see a lot of like use of the actual D4. And then like the amount of expansion, like it's really good. You can have a fun one shot, or it's got like really good long game mechanics. It's got a bunch of really cool stuff. One of the most unique like new systems, like they came up with like their own actual dice system. It's a ridiculous game. It's very fun. We made up, because like one of my favorite things about it is you get to like to convince people that, that anomaly didn't just happen in front of you. You call in the agency and they like make stuff to change reality. And so we changed reality in this to make up a fake anime called Cowboy X Kiss that then became the central focus of the entire episode, where they went to a Cowboy X Kiss con, and it's like one of the most inventive, like really good. It's got like a kind of a crunchy rule set, but everything's really supported. I think it's amazing. And like I said, I run Oddity Roadshows, comedy horror podcasts. We have an old one called Critical Bits, and we just announced today, once again, speaking of Caleb, we announced today I'm going to be starting a Scum and Villainy podcast soon. And Caleb is, we have like a main cast of 4 players, and then Caleb is our auxiliary cast member. Well, he won't be in every episode, but he will be like a reoccurring guest, as he's playing a robot on the ship that has access to every playbook, because there's different mods you can install in him to just make him do what you need, but every playbook has a different personality that goes with it. So once again, Caleb's an amazing player, GM, and like the Triangle seems to be awesome. So just go check out everything about it, and go follow the Kickstarter page.
Awesome. Ava, you want to ask plugs?
Yes, I will have to limit myself because I am in a lot of shit. So I actually am managing a Kickstarter right now that only has 8 days left in it. It is called Subversion. It's a cyberpunk fantasy tabletop RPG, created by, if you're familiar with Shadowrun. You might know the name Opti. He's the main creator. He has obviously some other writers and whatnot. And that commune that I made was a community that we made in Subversion during our kickoff stream. Because Subversion is all about community. The community acts as almost another character. Super fun. 8 days left in the campaign. We're already almost 5 times past the goal, so
Nice.
looking great there. I've got a couple more campaigns launching in a couple months. That's what I do for a full-time job. I'm crowdfunding director, so I manage Kickstarters. That is my full-time job now, and it's nutty to me, believe me. I'm also in a couple streams. Bi-weekly Fridays, not this Friday, but next, I'm in a Well of the Worlds stream. That's a Prowlers and Paragons new setting that is going to be released on Kickstarter soon. And Monday, April 3rd, we're coming back with Season 5 of a Paranormal Albany. It's a Dresden Files game that I'm in. It uses the Cortex Prime system, not, I think most people use Fate. But that's super fun. I will drop the link to the Rem Alternus Twitch. There it is. And I think that's enough for me.
Awesome.
So much.
And Dave.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go with what I said at the beginning. I'm kind of in a hiatus right now with my content, but For Orbs, the podcast, it's a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast where I host as a DM, and I make custom music for it, blah, 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 blah. There's about 120 episodes out right now, but I've been about 6 months behind on releasing an episode because life has just kind of kicked me in the bad spot. So I'm trying. If it got anybody listening that's a Forbes listener waiting for a new episode in this chat right now, I promise I'm trying. And that's it for me, really.
Alrighty, and we will be back on Saturday with another episode of Escaping Carcosa. That is our campaign. That is 2 simultaneous running games, Call of Cthulhu and Pathfinder 2E, about people trapped inside a video game and people trying to break them out. So we'll be joining our offline crew of investigators as they are discovering what the hell the Nostradamus Corporation is up to in the middle of the Museum of Pop Culture. So join us at 4 p.m. CST on Saturday. It'll also be out in podcast mode. And thank you all for coming on by and joining us for this this fun game. And I'm sure everyone will be just fine in this pocket dimension. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you all soon. Bye now.